Hi guys, welcome to our first new series of the playlist C'est la vie. The content in this playlist is gonna be around French stuff, things that I think are interesting for American people to discover about France. I do some specific videos such as what to visit in Paris, the land in France, where to go to see things a little bit outside of what you can see in the US. Before I start on this video, also follow me on different social media as you wish. Provide me feedback. Put the banner at the bottom here saying please provide me feedback. It's really important for me, and I need comments and feedback. If you like it, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to follow this playlist. And this said, let's start on today's C'est la vie topic. I picked for today a topic from one of my friend, Ludivine, who recently moved from Paris to Marseille. And as you can see here on this little map that I created, it's the north versus the south, and there's a lot going on around that for people who know a little bit the soccer and things like that. It is two ways of thinking between the south and the north, and there's two cities. However, they're all people from France, so they all think they're important. So she recently moved from Paris to Marseille. I actually, just to be transparent here on this video, I am from Paris. So I was born and raised in Paris. I do love Paris. I never lived in Marseille, and that's why even if I went there one or two times, uh, I do not want to make this video on what I've seen for my one time 2 hours driving in town. That would not be fair. She recently moved there. Now it's about a few months, and so we're going to see the other stuff she has to say on that. So the first thing she noticed, and I think it's obvious for everybody. I mean, you're from the north and the south. The weather is obviously better in the south as default. A little bit like if you're moving from, I would say, Chicago to Miami. That's the difference in weather. Paris is a bit more cold, more freezing. There is no snow, and the south is a bit more, I would say, flat weather, a bit like Melbourne, Miami. The second thing is, which really differentiate, I think, people from Paris and people from Marseille is Paris people like to be in little group. They don't like to be mixed. They like to be mixed, but only with people they know and people who know someone that they know someone and ongoing. They like to feel that they're part of a group. When I think the feedback she gave me from the people from Marseille is they just like to be social in general. uh, does this mean you have more friends? Not necessarily, but they like to talk and be close and talk about random things in the subway, or when you go to the bakery, you can stay for 30 minutes talking about things. One thing which is really characteristic from Marseille is les calanques. Um, Marseille is a port, and there is a lot of boat coming in and out. But on the side of Marseille, you have what you see the Calanque. It's a beautiful water, white rocks, and they are precious for them. There are people who actually build houses on the rocks, and you have to wait generation for get a spot in one of those places. It's just phenomenal to see. One thing, obviously, Paris is a pretty crowded city, so trying to drive from 8 a.m., I would say 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. going from the suburb to Paris is just a nightmare. But from what she told me, Marseille is better than that, so I can't compare to a big city like New York City. I would say Paris is more like New York City. Marseille is still a huge city, so I do expect that there are obviously some some moments where it's hard to drive, but from what she told me, it's a little bit better than what it is in Paris. Um, the next thing which you cannot beat in France, in the south of France, is the food. Sausage, pork sausage. Um, different local product they have. The French food is known for trying to have as less as possible chemical, fresh. I think that's what you would call in the US bio food, you know. But most of the food in France they try to have it really fresh, and so this changed a little bit since France opened to the European market. However, there's a lot of legislation protecting the food in France, but you can buy literally, farmers' food from the south of France, so local, independent products, and they're just fantastic. I mean, it's yeah, olives, olive oil, I would say sausage are really like some of the main things, but also everything about veggies are just higher standard because it's just easier to get from the land to the south of France than it is in Paris. The price are probably a bit cheaper, more reasonable, and you have a lot of winery also in the south of France, so you get good food, good wine, just obviously a good amount. One thing for sure, uh, I know, and she is not a soccer fan, but um, there is this little competition between rivalry between Paris and Marseille, and here you can see a picture of the Stade Velodrome, which is the stadium, and the city is like a little bit like I would say Green Bay, which means people live for soccer. I mean, if you do not like soccer, do not. I mean, it's probably one discussion out of two. Usually, from what I understand, they just love their soccer team. It's a religion for them. So obviously, her husband, who is just a fan of Marseille, had probably no issue moving to Marseille because he's a fanatic too of this team. I'm personally not a fan of the Paris team or the Marseille team, so I don't have necessarily anything to say. But historically, Marseille has been the people club, when Paris has always been, I would say, the highlight club. A little bit more hype. So, what do you miss from Paris? Obviously, Paris is a bit more like New York City, if I have to see it, and Marseille is more like imagining people of Chicago living in Miami. That would be more the feeling, but there is a lot of energy. Um, the city is just fantastic. Paris by night is something that you never get old of. Obviously, the life is better. Looks like the life is better from her inputs in Marseille. Again, I don't want to bring my judgment in because I was only 2 hours there. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere in Paris that you don't find anywhere else. Um, and on this, I'm gonna go to the last thing on my channel, which on this video, which is don't hesitate if you like the content. Please leave a like. Don't hesitate to write a comment on the video itself. Anyways is fine on the video or any social media. I put them again at the top. Don't hesitate, and don't hesitate also to tell me what you think about this new playlist called C'est la vie. This was the first video, and I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.